Today is not going great. Started out sort of not good, because apparently my server is doing a new thing now, for a little bit now, where if I copy files to it, especially in bulk, from my computer, better than 50% chance it's going to completely lock up and need to be power cycled. So I don't know if it's an issue with it due to its age or the new drives or something, or if it's something that it doesn't like with Windows 11. People have had this issue with all various operating systems and times and different methods. None of them really came up with a solution though, so that happened. And then, it started going okay. Came down here, made some progress. Put the audio cables back away. I was going to move the turntable. The RCA cable I had is almost long enough. It's like 3 to 6 feet short. So I have a new RCA cable coming from Amazon, same day delivery. It's 25 foot, that should be more than sufficient. Got this all cleaned up, put all the speaker wires away. Started and almost finished cleaning up the bar. So I got most of the excess junk off of it. A couple little other minor things, and I can get that cleaned up and put the lounge sign on it. I got this corner all cleaned up. So all the laser boxes are moved and are in the back now. Got the Christmas bins that were here. The only 2 bins that weren't with the rest of the holiday stuff. One of them was wrapping bows and things. The other was indoor decorations. So those are moved. Over to here, at least temporarily. But there's a good bit they'll probably stay there because I have the room on the desk now. Got the marquee on a smart plug. Says a trip, which just adds to the day. So, I stole one from upstairs that we weren't really using anymore. And hooked that up. Fun fact, because it's GE, my lighting control turns it on and off, which is a handy little thing. So I don't have to go and tell our assistant to do it. I didn't really think about it, but that is the typical behavior by default. So bonus. I got the games added and mostly organized. So there's that. Came to the realization that despite the family owning at least one Skip-Bo and at least 4 or 5 copies of Uno, I don't have either here. My parents in Florida had them. My wife's family has both. We don't have them here for whatever reason. Had to go on a hunt for my 6 cubes dice because I took the stuff out of the box in Florida because I didn't really have room for the box, but I wanted the game up here. Found 5 dice in Yahtzee, and I know it's the right dice because it's got the red one and the green one, but I don't know where the cup is. I am still a dice short, but I have the board game and the cards. Excuse me. So getting other dice isn't a big deal. And things started going downhill outside of the server problem. So I was down here chilling with some lasers, listening to some music. Bluetooth on the Marantz did automatically reconnect again. So I don't know if something happened with a firmware update or whatever, but that's behaving much better. Got the blacklight mounted that I got from my parents. That was a pain in the butt. And despite measuring and everything else, the screw still was not where it needed to be. You notice it's missing a bulb. That's because as I was trying to install it the first time, before I moved the screw, it came off the one screw and fell on me. Bulb broke on my arms, shattered all over me and the cat. He was mostly out of the way. It doesn't seem like anything got on him. Mostly next to him. I got a couple of puncture wounds on the arm, no big deal. But now I need to go find a black light, so I'm highly annoyed because it's perfectly good, brand new, never used black light bulb, just gone for no reason by my own stupidity. About 5 seconds before I dropped it, I was like, you know what, I should probably take this bulb out. And I didn't. And now it's sitting on the trash can. Yay! So my free black light is now going to turn into a hunt for a bulb. And it looks like they're anywhere from 11 to 50 bucks online. Maybe Home Depot or Lowe's or somebody has one in stock locally. The problem is you're getting a lot of LED replacements, which I don't really want. I don't like the way the LEDs look. Or like American DJ Pro stuff. You can find some on Amazon, but the shipping is not fast, and reviews are kind of all over the place. So I would prefer to find one locally. Most of the delivery dates are after Halloween, but then I was like, well, who cares? I'm not really doing it for Halloween. But it's annoying. It was perfectly fine, and my own carelessness, and blah. Now it's all broken. So I'm in a bad mood. Wife should be home fairly shortly. Gonna go get our flu shots. I'm getting an updated COVID booster, just because it's convenient. And a lot of conventions and stuff are gonna require it, from what I understand. So I figure might as well get it done. It's already had one night off from work. Have one more night off from work, and then I gotta go back for 6. I'm not looking forward to that. So, it's been better. I guess we're still supposed to do pumpkins today too, which should brighten my mood a little bit. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I didn't pay for the black light. It's not that expensive to fix it. It's not really impacting me. I don't really have anything UV reactive down here anyway. It's just disappointing. My bigger concern is the server. If I can't reliably copy stuff to it from that computer, or worse yet, from any computer, that's going to be a problem. It's not really a behavior I can let go on, because I need to be able to move files to and from it safely without having to worry about locking up and having to reboot it. And this last time, after forcing it off and powering it back on, it's randomly doing a resync. I don't know why. It's not like it's degraded. The volume still says healthy. So I don't know if it's just doing a data integrity scrub and it's flagged as a resync in the interface for some reason. But I wasn't happy to see that. Especially considering it's taking like 9 hours. It's about done. It's got about 30 minutes left or so. I don't need any problems with that thing. Server is not something I'm looking forward to replacing or editing up anytime soon. So hopefully it's fine. I guess I'm going to attempt copying this stuff to an external drive and using my all-in-one computer to copy to it. See if I have the same problem. It's done this before, but very randomly, not like this consistency. It did it 4 times this morning with different files. So I don't know really what to make of that. If it's a Windows 11 or something with the new computer, I can live with that. If it's every copy, that's significantly more problematic. Good news is, I think I've mentioned this before, but maybe not. The new computer is behaving much more calmly. Fan doesn't seem to ramp up anywhere near as much. Haven't had it lock up or reboot that I've noticed in several weeks. Basically, since the McAfee trial expired and then I uninstalled it, it's been much better. Imagine that. It's the reason I don't run that crap. I should have uninstalled it when I first turned the computer on. I don't know for sure that that's the trigger, but it sure seems like that has fixed the majority of the issues I was having with it. Haven't had the display like not wake up anymore. I don't really have the amplifier issue anymore because I'm using just 1/8 inch line audio to the desktop speakers. That amp is down here now. So I do want to upgrade the memory and probably still swap out that rear fan at some point. But at least from a usability standpoint, it's fine. I'm torrenting through the uTorrent web client just fine, no issues. I just can't get the things off the stupid drive to the server without the server crashing. Well, wife should be here any second, so I guess that's it for now. When we come home from the shots, I assume it'll be pumpkin time, considering I'm already super tired. I've been up since about 2 in the morning, so that's about 13 hours. Don't know that I'm going to actually finish any of the stuff down here today. Really, I just want to get rid of these last couple boxes. Those speakers I'm not really using anymore. They're from an old speaker system I used to have. I'm going to put those in that box, which is now empty. Put these glasses somewhere. Put the plush maybe back in the bag or something. And then I guess I'm done down here until I start doing the full organization of everybody, which I'm not really set up for right now. So I don't know if I want to do that today or not. Probably not. Too much work. Talk to you later. Actually, I guess the next project for me, as far as what I want to do once this is cleared up, is I want to pick out the DVDs for the art project. So there's a box there. There's a box around the stairs over there. There's about half of that box. And then there's the rack behind the screen. And there's a couple piles in the living room. I think those are all the DVDs that we have that we're going to go through. So that'll be interesting. And a new day has dawned. Shots went alright. Arm's a little sore. Wasn't at all yesterday, but after I guess laying on it, it's sore today. But not too bad. I got all the plush moved. I got the DVDs moved out of the gym. I got that box moved from over by the couch. That's all DVDs. Boosting is set up. I wish I had a better idea of how to set it up before spilling a few things here and there, but it wasn't too bad. One of the bottles was too big, so that was part of the problem. Parrots are going to go there in front of the Alexa, but I'm trying to charge them up with a solar light since they're pretty dead. Turntable is hooked up, so I ordered the 2 cables, the one that was supposed to get here same day, and another RCA, which is actually the one I wanted, that was going to be on Saturday. Turns out they both came. So I have an extra that I didn't necessarily need, but it'll be useful to hang on to. Something more like that, actually. So I listened to a couple of records, that was fine. Works fine in here. You know, despite being hard to get to. But now I can put the computer on top of the rack, and I think that'll work better for that scenario. Yes, that is my gym, or my theater on the screen. Afraid to pull up YouTube because I wanted to make sure that this wasn't going to interfere with the projector. It does not. It's out of the way. How much? Decent amount. This is kind of my, well, that's not that much. It's about there. Actually, no, yeah, more like there. So, yeah, a decent amount. So anything I put on top of the bar should be fine. Goal is to get all the DVDs unboxed today. Start making piles. Kind of pre-sort them for the wife. And then we'll decide what to actually put on the wall. Oh, that reminds me. I was going to put the lounge sign there under the parrots, but I figured this isn't really the lounge. This is. So I hooked it up there. So he turned on and off with the marquee. And and the basement lights in general. Well, the theater lights anyway. So I thought that was cool. This is kind of the lounge where the popcorn and stuff's going to be anyway, or the sitting area for the pre-show, whatever. I did find that in our game, so Sequence is now over here. This is pretty much full, outside of maybe a couple of card decks. Like I said, I can get an Uno and a Skippo, and it's pretty much all I need. Back here is pretty clean, despite all the new laser boxes. There's a better path now. These are some of the other DVDs I do need to pull out and take a look at. I verified that the Lord of the Rings set is too tall to put in the beam, and I don't want to glue those to the wall, because first off, they're heavy and thick and they won't look right. So they'll stay there. But there's definitely stuff in here I can pull out. Probably like a Planet of the Apes or two, an Alien, Beverly Hills Cop, whatever. There are things. Nothing's really changed over here. Stuff actually got pulled out because I was looking for the newspaper to carve the pumpkins, which we did yesterday. It was actually already in the closet upstairs, so I pulled all that stuff out for nothing, but that's alright. My pumpkin already, even though we just got them, I guess it was close to a week, like 4 or 5 days, had already started rotting. You couldn't really tell if they started cutting into it, and then I went boop right inside. So I had to abandon the side I did. It was supposed to be a BAP, it wasn't working. So then I just did a doofy face on the other side. Angel's pumpkin turned out pretty cool. So we have those for a few days. But yeah, I'm just going to spend the rest of the day probably going through the DVDs. And maybe some more Hearthstone. Maybe I'll haze it up and do some more lasers, since I kind of had a rude interruption yesterday with that stupid bulb breaking on my head. Oh, arm, actually. But, I'm gonna have to go to bed soon-ish, because I work tonight and the next 6 nights, assuming I don't call in. There's a good bet I'm gonna call in, because I really don't want to work 6 in a row. Even though I have 3 off at the end. 6 in a row hurts a lot. So we'll see, but at least I have to go on the night, so. But yep, that is the progress. It's back to normal down here, more or less. That plush pile needs to get addressed, because I don't want that to stay like that for very long. Start moving stuff back upstairs once they're in their sorted piles. But I am going to test out my boosting some more, watch a little bit of this laser show, and then probably start up a new one. Catch you later. I really hope I wasn't recording that last section in time-lapse, that I hit something after I stopped the video. I'll have to double check that. But in the meantime, just an update on other stuff too. Lease is now signed for next year, so we got that taken care of. We got the wife's benefits taken care of. I still got to do my open enrollment. I still got a couple days to worry about it though, and I'm not really doing much. To double check a couple things. So most of the adulting stuff is good too. Yeah, it wasn't in time lapse, it was fine. For a not terribly expensive camera with onboard very tiny microphones, no external audio setup, I am consistently impressed with how much bass this thing picks up. Watching this back down here, it's like it was like when I was recorded it. It's a little muddier, probably, but as far as output, it's intense. It's just as good as it was. Good job, GoPro. Also, my projector has really nice colors. I haven't run the projector with haze yet. Kind of been wanting to, just for fun. I think I'll go ahead and do that, just for a little bit of a giggle. Well, it's not a laser, but it's certainly interesting, and colorful, and bright as shit. That's a laser. is a projector. Showing a laser. Takes a lot of light to light up a screen. And that's not even max, because it's with my color filter in place. And it's on like normal. That's probably like 50% of the brightness output. It is pretty neat how far it spreads out. I don't plan on running the projector a lot with haze, but it's water-based, so it shouldn't really hurt it. So I don't know if the GoPro has the dynamic range for this or not. The LCD on the back of this certainly doesn't. I can kind of see it. So I have this projector in blackout mode, and this is how much light is coming out of it. Ignore him. With it basically just, you know, with it on black as I try not to die. So not an insurmountable bit. Like, I can still see you. So it's the ultra black, but you know, it's no OLED. And yes, this laser's still doing this. But, you know, it looks, actually, I guess it depends on the angle. From this side, I can see the blue and the red beam. Whee! And I can see the dots. Actually, I think it's getting further apart. And from this side, it basically looks purple. It's got to get the right angle on it. It'd try. I mean, if this is what they're considering low power, that's still pretty damn bright. I should probably play something before it catches the house on fire. It shouldn't actually do that, though. It's not like this footage is HDR or anything, so I put the projector in bright cinema just to show the difference. This is why I don't want a JVC. It's like, okay, their blacks are better, but if they don't have the color volume, I'd rather have the color volume and the brightness. Especially for a bigger screen. I got the spiders. Jesus, the recording of this playing back vibrates the whole damn space. It's ridiculous. And for the record, that was with the other sub turned off. That was just my SVS. That's a good sub. That's also a cool shot. Anyway, I guess I'm going to go ahead and start unboxing these DVDs. What's in the box is this box here. Apparently is like my HD DVDs. As short-lived as that was. And stuff like my Cruise DVD and stuff from like To the Ranting Griffin and Uncle Kage, you know, convention DVDs. Stuff that's not movies. Although I suppose I could put a couple of them up on the wall. Just for giggles. But the majority of those I want to put on the shelf behind the screen here. Which means enough of those need to come off for that to happen. That's the majority of this. Plus, like I said, just kind of pre-shorting. Putting the clamshells together, because those are going to go probably on the beam. This way I don't have to worry about taping to them, because that would kind of ruin them. If I ruin the other cases with the tape, first off, I don't really care. But it's easy enough to get a new plastic clamshell for those. A little harder with the other ones, because those are printed and stuff, so. But, you know, I'd prefer not to damage them if I don't have to. But yeah, I gotta put on some tunes and go ahead and start doing that. Bye-bye. Well, this is what's left of my physical media collection. I feel like at one point it was more, but frankly at this point I don't really care. I know my mother went through it and took some stuff potentially. Some of it might have gotten destroyed when we had a little bit of a flood at my old house. But I think this is everything that I physically still have. I don't have anything else in storage. I don't have anything else at any other houses as far as I know. And there's no boxes down here that contain DVDs that I am aware of. So, you know, outside of the spindles of disc, there should be all the physical media. Now, not even all of these are legitimate. Some of these I just made covers for and copied because I've always been a pirate. Legally obtained movies. But I'd say at least 60 to 80% of this is commercial and, you know, legitimate retail. So, gonna sort them by size. You know, the clamshells versus the double thick 2-disc ones versus the regular things. Anything that's got a slip cover, I can obviously take out of the slip cover. But yeah, we'll start making piles and start decorating stuff with these. Gotta do something with them. What I'm gonna do with the extra ones, I have no idea. Back in boxes, I guess. But at least they're all together, and I can actually see what I got. Well, the pre-sort is done. So these two piles here are the main contenders for the wall. These two piles here are the clamshell contenders that are going to go on the beam. Obviously there's too many there. These two piles here are ones that I would like, but they're the thick double disc ones, so probably not going to use them. The ones in the back, so this guy and all these, are rejects for various reasons. Either they have a specific type of case, like it opens up, it's fancy packaging that I can't really mount to the wall without destroying, which I don't want to do, or movies I just don't care about. That pile is Christmas. So now I will go through the front one's animation. The rest of these are just regular movies. So now I'll go through and pick out the have-to-haves. Although not right now. I'm going to go to bed. Try to get a little bit of sleep before the wife comes home. But we'll pull out the have-to-haves for me. And then we'll have her go through and see what she wants, if anything additional. And then we'll fill in with whatever space we got left. Anyway, I'm done. I'm tired. This was a lot of work. And I'm ready to be done. Also, the parrots did not charge with the LED grow light. So either they're dead and not functioning, or they need a lot more time under it, or they need real sun. I wasn't sure if an LED grow light would actually charge those solar things or not. So I guess we can try to get him into some sunlight near a window or something, which is hard to do in this house because we don't usually have stuff open. But whatever. Here are our pumpkins. So that is on the left mine, version 2. On the right is the wife's. The first attempt. Supposed to be a cool bat, but all of this and all of this and most of this is rotted. So yeah, that did not work. I mean, he's super squishy. So this is the side that we look at. It's fine. We got him late in the season, so, you know, whatever. Is there anything else? I don't think so. Alright, good night. Well, happy Halloween. It is now October 31st. A few days ago I did a few things down here in the basement. So, we have the start of the DVD project. So, these are all the clamshells that I put here. It's not all of them, I do have more, but these are the ones I'm using. I went behind the sign just for consistency. It also helped with the spacing. I have two actual film 35mm trailers that I inherited from somewhere, kind of also behind the sign, so that's pretty neat. And then they continue out down this way. There is now a lounge sign. So at one point I was going to put that on the bar, but decided, well, that's not really the lounge anyway, that's the actual theater. And it didn't really look great. Like I was going to put it under the parrots or something. But dang it, GoPro, I was just getting started. Stupid battery. Hadn't really noticed the percentage, but it should have had more than that left on it. Anyway, so I don't know exactly where I stopped, but I do have more, but this is what fit. And it's, you know, definitely the ones I wanted. I actually went ahead and used some more of the backup ones because I also did this side. So these are the ones that I was not necessarily worried about. And it goes to there, and it goes, I think, to there. Just so, you know, I mean, this is about as open as I'll ever have them. Just so there's something there to look at. The ones I actually wanted to use worked out pretty perfectly. I think I only had to get one or two supplements. Did I even? I don't know. It was pretty close. This spot where Korean Mile was tricky because that's where the two headers, the I-beams here, actually are welded together. So it's a little tighter there. I had to kind of wedge him in there. It wasn't pretty, but it works. It's a little off still, but it's as good as I can get it. On top of the marquee, those are the doubles that I'm going to use. So I figure I could use a little extra thickness up there anyway. And this way, you know, they're also a little bit heavier, so I don't have to worry about them pulling on the tape as much. That works out pretty well, perfectly as well. I've sorted these again. So the rows up here are the ones I definitely want to use. Animation pile and then 3 regular piles. And then these are kind of the extras that I'll use if I need to. And these are still, you know, extra if for some reason I need more than I think I do. That's about all that's really changed down here. Other news as far as the server, I managed to copy everything off of it, well, up to it from my hard drive that was giving me problems last time. So that's good. I finished doing its resyncing or whatever it was doing, and everything transferred. I was being super careful with it and only doing one at a time. And it worked, so I mean, you know, whatever. I'm sure it's not the end of that issue, but at least everything got copied up to it that I intended. In other news, I called into work yesterday, and I'm probably calling into work today, because October 29th, I did this. So I was pushing some carts in at work, grabbed them to shift them over, and my wrist popped, and it hurt ever since. So I spent a good chunk of the day yesterday, after we got home and relaxed for a bit, going to urgent care, because I wanted documentation, because I figured I was probably going to call in at least a day or two. Hopefully they will cover it. as far as not giving me points, because my attendance is pretty shoddy with them right now. I also did kind of want to get it looked at just in case it was something else, so hopefully at least they'll take care of the x-ray and the visit and the brace. I'm on late duty now as far as, work restrictions, but there's literally nothing I can do on third shift in my position or any position that's at the store that will hit that criteria, especially not for 8 hours. So I'm currently dealing with them as far as, this is the deal, what do you guys want to do? This is also the 6 days in a row that I had, which I didn't want to do, so not really the way I wanted to get out of 6 days in a row, but I'll take it. So I worked 2. I'm now going to be off 2. I'll probably go in tomorrow, unless they tell me I don't have to. Because then I'll have 2 more on, and then I have 3 off. Ideally, I will just be able to take the next 3 off tonight and 2 more, and I'll just be off until like next Sunday. But that's optimistic, and if they are going to point me or even withhold pay from me for that long, I don't know if short-term workman's comp is going to give me any lost wages. I'll probably go in and just not do a whole lot of work, because whatever, if they want to pay me to sit there at Starbucks and nap all night, that's fine. I just, between being up 22 hours yesterday and the initial amount of pain, I definitely did not want to go in yesterday. Tonight is Halloween. The wife did say that she is definitely wanting to help with the DVD project. It's like she actually seemed excited about it. So we're probably going to just put on a couple movies down here and work on that tonight. So I don't want to do that to her and go to work. I'd rather stay here with her. And if I lose the pay, whatever. The other 2 days are a little hard to justify. Yes, I know it's not on right now correctly. I had to go to the bathroom, and I figured while it was off, went ahead and rinsed the dish that needed to be hand washed. And the warm water felt good, so I think I'm actually going to go take a shower. But I wanted to at least partially put it back on for the ta-da moment and reveal it. That's why it's not really on. I'm going to take it back off here, take my shower. And then I'll put it on for real once I dry. And then I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I can't really work on this till she comes home and a little bit later. I don't really have anything else to do down here at the moment. Thought about doing a laser show, but the closer it gets to tonight, the less likely I feel like doing it. Probably just go back to playing some more Hearthstone. I need to start working on my office again, but I don't really have the will or the motivation to do that right now. But yeah, that's what's been going on. It's looking pretty cool with movies. I like the way it makes the space feel. Because that's a good way to utilize them in some capacity. So I think that's a good project. Other than that, not much else to report. Oh, the 5-head laser did go on sale again. It's $157. So it's 15% off what it normally is. I think that's how I got that one for. So I would love to get it and stick it up there. But the wife and I did just have a half mocking, half serious conversation about how there's too many lights down here as it is. And just how I was spending money on them. I mean, she wasn't really giving me a hard time, but that is also her true opinion on the situation, so I really shouldn't get another one. But I kind of want to. So I don't know. Are those boxes colored? I never noticed. Holy crap, they are. It's actually got the laser color. Wait, does it? Maybe I'm seeing things. Can't really tell on this light. But that almost looks like a yellow. Green, blue, cyan. I can't really see if there's a red one on this one, because it's hard for me anyway. But if they are color, that's interesting. If not, I don't know why this one in the end is as light as it is. That seems like a weird choice. I'm surprised I never noticed that before. Anyway, so yeah, I have to decide if I want to actually get that or not. I probably won't, but we'll see. Still no bulb for this guy. Haven't really been anywhere locally besides Meijer, and they don't have one. I'll probably just order one on Amazon, but I haven't yet. Yeah, that'll do it for now. We're probably about to the point where I'm going to upload this. I don't even remember what other footage I've shot since the last video. Probably just mostly talking about the DVDs. But maybe there's more there than I realize. But it's going to be a bit before I do anything else with the space, so that's what we got. It's actually starting, well, it's okay. Starting to look like a theater is what I was going to say, but it's been feeling like that for a while. No, I still need to do it all this. Someday, guys, someday. Catch you later. I'm gonna go take that shower and make this wrist feel a little better, hopefully.